So when did you come to Thailand? When did you? What?
April 29th.
Oh, that is just 2 weeks ago. Huh? Did you had to quarantine, no?
Yeah, for
10
10 days.
days. And anyway, so we came here to practice, yeah? This is a monastery. This is a monastery for practice only. No? That just like Wat Pa Pantat. No? Wat Pa Pantat, it was the only work that people had to do was walking Chongkrom and sitting in Samadhi. Yeah? When sitting Samadhi said, yeah, finished, and now you walk Chongkrom, and then you sit in Samadhi, and then you walk Chongkrom, and then you sit in Samadhi. Huh? Emily, yeah? We have to fight, yeah? The most important thing, yeah? What we learn here, because Lungta Mahaprabhu called its monastery the Forest University, yeah? And if you have been to university, you're free to go or you're free to pass, you can go back and sleep at home, or you can go and read, yeah? But here, Forest University, you have to have self-discipline, yeah? And that is difficult in the beginning. For people who don't have self-discipline, it is difficult to develop it. Yeah? But people who have self-discipline, it is easy. Yeah? They can just work, they just can work the Sila, Samadhi and Panya. Samadhi, so walk Chongkrom, then sit in Samadhi, then walk Chongkrom, sit in Samadhi. Yeah? It depends on the self-discipline. Yeah? If you don't have it, it is very difficult, yeah. But it was in the beginning at the university. It was also a bit difficult, to adjust, because in the high school you have your plan, you go there, okay, and they check your absence or not absence. But at university nobody checks, yeah. And so here nobody checks except me, sometimes, I'm asking, how many hours you have, yeah? So the whole place is, just for practice, yeah? Not for studying, not for reading, not for other things, yeah? Just to get into Samadhi, yeah? And we practice the Fourth Noble Truth here, Sila, yeah? We normally don't talk about Sila, yeah, because everybody is required to keep the 8 precepts. You heard of the 8 precepts, huh? Yeah. So you know the 8 precepts, yeah? So we keep the 8 precepts, and then, yeah, for the first time, we really concentrate, to get the mind quiet, and that is the most difficult thing, yeah. The mind has been thinking all day long, yeah. All our life, yeah. We were trained nearly from the kindergarten to think, yeah. And now we have to stop thinking. And that is not easy. Because the mind loves to think about all these things, yeah? Whenever it gets in touch with the senses, it starts to think about, what happened, why are the senses now on, and why are they not on, and why is this memory coming, and why is that memory coming? This is all nonsense, yeah? We have to get rid of all these things, yeah? In order to really enter Samadhi, we have to get rid of thoughts and memories. Yeah? We don't suppress them. Yeah? That's what we, from Western standpoint, we like to do hard work. Yeah? We like to suppress these things. That is not the thing. Yeah? We don't suppress the thoughts. We see a thought, we acknowledge it, and we replace it with Buddha, or we replace it with the attention on the breath. That is the whole key. And we know this method. Yeah? Even in the daily life, we used to do these things. Yeah? When we saw something that is not pleasant to our eyes, what did we do? We turned away from it. Didn't we? And that is the whole key to practice. We just turn away from the thoughts that are coming up and turn back, to the Buddha or to the breath, observing the breath. We don't force it, and we don't we don't get disturbed by these thoughts. We just see it, acknowledge our memory, acknowledge it, and then replace it with the Buddha or replace it with the attention on the breath. Yeah? If you do that wholeheartedly, within no time, there will be quiet. The mind will be quiet. And then what happens if the thoughts that are normally, in the foreground don't come anymore, or the memories that don't come anymore in the foreground, then there will be the background thinking. Yeah. And that is where we have to put more interest into the Buddha or more interest in the breath. And that is more difficult. Yeah? We have to be really interested in the object that we observe. Yeah? I mean, we know it, and we should use something from our daily life. If somebody had a hobby, where he get completely lost, not noticing what is going on around him. He was just interested in his, into his hobby. Whatever it is. Making model airplanes or whatever. Yeah, or sewing or whatever. One can get completely lost in one's work. Yeah, and not noticing. Yeah, we remember the stories about the old profs. Yeah. Professors, who get completely lost. They didn't even notice that their wife is bringing them the coffee, yeah? They were so observed or absorbed in their work, yeah? And that's exactly what we have to do. We have to completely get absorbed, yeah? So we have to use that interest, yeah? Interest in the breath. How is the breath at this moment? How is the breath at the next moment? Is it deep? Is it shallow? Is it, is it slow, yeah? Or is it fast, yeah? Is it coarse? Yeah, we don't judge it. Yeah, we don't say this is good or this is bad. We just want to know. That is the key. We want to know how the breath is. We don't try to manipulate, and that is the second problem that we have, especially as Westerners. We try to manipulate the object that we observe. Yeah, so we make the breath. Quieter and quieter, and then suddenly, we have to breathe very hard, yeah? Because we try to force the breath in a certain way that we expect it to be. No, that is not the key. That is not our objective. Our objective of practicing samadhi is to observe, to know how the breath is. If it is coarse, it is fine. If it is deep, it is fine. If it is shallow, it is fine. If it is long, it is fine. If it is short, it is fine. Yeah? And the same with the Buddha. If it is fast, it is fine. If it is slow, it is fine. If it is deep, it is fine. If it is shallow, it is fine. We just want to know it. You understand that? Yeah? That is the key. Yeah? And we have to make it the most interesting object. Yeah? So, if we had something, where we easily got lost, in our daily life or in our previous life, with some sort of hobby or whatever we wanted to do, yeah, we take the interest of this hobby, into the meditation, yeah. So find it. It will take a while, but find the interest, For me, I used to program, I used to program a lot, I was really stuck on this, program, following every line, yeah, and then completely forgetting what was outside, yeah. So bringing this kind of interest, in every line of the program, into every appearance of the Buddha or every appearance of the breath, yeah, and then suddenly you're gone. It is that easy, yeah. But if you don't have this, if you are not 100% interested, yeah, if you're always interested in what is going on, what kind of senses come into, and asking, what these senses are doing now, we don't have this 100% concentration. Yeah? And 100% concentration is actually deep samadhi. Yeah? Samadhi is, 60, 55%, 60, 70, 80%, yeah, of concentration, yeah, because we still know the things that are still going on. So there are three kinds of samadhi: upachara samadhi, kanika samadhi, and apana samadhi. Khanika Samadhi, for most of the people, you just dive into Appana Samadhi very quickly. I mean, just one mind moment, and then come out. Yeah. But normally, when you come out of Khanika Samadhi, you are already you are thrown back into Upachara Samadhi. So for most people, this is not going to happen. But what is happening is the Upachara Samadhi. Then, when the thoughts and the memories really stop, yeah. And when you're really one, when you're really one with the object of meditation, so be it the Buddha or be it the breath, yeah, then you start to feel, yeah, and then you start to feel you are in a completely different world, yeah. This world is not the world that we normally know, because the world that we know is the world of our thoughts and our memories, and assumptions and views, yeah. That is the world that we know. We see something, we assume it, or we label it. Huh? That is the world that we see. Yeah? Any kind of sensation that comes into the body is automatically labeled. It is hearing, or even differentiating between this language or that language, or music and language, or sound of, sound of the nature. Or it is automatically. We have to stop this process of labeling. In order just to experience. What is sound? How does sound feel like? Yeah? What is the experience of touch? Yeah? I mean, when the wind touches our skin, what is the experience of touch? Yeah? Without putting any label on it. Yeah? And that is very difficult. Yeah? I remember when I first trained in samadhi. My teacher, he was good in samadhi. He told me, yeah, just listen. Huh? Don't make any assumptions. Huh? Then I asked him, how do you do that? Yeah? You just listen, don't make any assumptions. Huh? So I tried it, and it took me a year, to understand. And then I said, now I understand what you mean. Because the listening that we think that we know is not the listening that we experience. Huh? There's a difference. Huh? Because then there is no labels to it, there is nothing. Yeah? I mean, we just listen, we hear sound as sound. Yeah? And we don't make it out to be, to be the wind, or to be animals, or to be humans, or to be this or that. Yeah? That's where we get in touch. That's where we get in touch with reality. Yeah? I mean, our reality, that all the people, or most of the people live in, is the reality of their assumptions, what they see, what they hear, what they feel, Huh? That is our reality we live in. Yeah, I mean, it is fine, we can live in this, yeah. But now, now we want to experience another reality. And that is the reality when thoughts and memories stop, yeah. And that is a completely different thing, yeah. And in this kind of reality, yeah, there is no future, there is no past, and there is no worries, yeah, and there is no separation. There is no separation between the object and the object observed. Yeah, there is just we are. Yeah, we are one with pretty much with the universe. Yeah, and then we go on. And then we still concentrate on our Buddha, or we still concentrate on our breath. Yeah. And when we do the breath meditation, what is going to happen? The senses of the body, slowly get less and less and less, yeah, until we only, until we are only aware here around the heart, yeah, until then the breath stops, and then we know that the breath stops, yeah, and at that moment, yeah, if we don't have a trick, we have to jump to the knowingness, yeah. And then we enter one-pointedness. And one-pointedness, yeah, shows us the reality of this universe, because the universe has disappeared. Yeah? There is subject and object. Yeah, think about subject and object as 2 points, who merge into 1 point. Yeah. So, I mean, in our world of duality, we have always subject and object. We see something, we hear something. So, something hears, something. Yeah? So, we have always subject and object. And these two merge into one thing. What can you say about that? Our language doesn't have any words for it. Yeah? It is, according to Lungta Mahaboy, it is the preview of Nibbana. Yeah? Because there everything stops. Yeah? there's also, there's no future, there's no past, everything happens there. And there's actually no happening, there's just knowingness. Pure, clear knowingness. And for most people who come out, they just only, the only thing that they know, is I haven't been asleep. Because the moment you come out, you're completely awake. I mean, it is like, you put your fingers in a 220 hours outlet. I mean, you're completely charged. Your batteries are full. Even if you're only 10 minutes in there. I mean, you come out and you're charged, and whatever you look at that, when you come out, I mean, you see just right through it. Because at that time the kilesas have a hold on us. They don't tell us what we see, and they don't tell us what we experience. So this is why it is very helpful, to have this kind of deep samadhi, because once you come out, you can very easily dissect the body, see what it is for, what is left, what is it, what is it that we are attached to, and we see, the attachment to all these things. We see the attachment to the six senses, the senses of the body and the senses of the mind. And then we say, well, what is it, I mean, what is this? Why am I entangled with all these things, The entanglement with all these things creates all these worlds, and creates all these views, all these assumptions. And we know, I mean, we lived quite a long life, for up to now, and then we know, I mean, people have different views, people have different opinions, and they fight about these views and opinions. They even start to fight about the Buddha's teaching. When you go to the West, there's more fighting about the Buddha's teaching, interpretation of the Buddha's teaching. They all try to, to intellectually understand the Buddha's teaching. But that is also views and opinions. At the time of the Lord Buddha, there were no books. And even if you remember one of the suttas, where the monks were fighting about the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha. You remember that sutta, or you heard about it? I mean, there were the Dhamma and the Vinaya, the group of Dhamma monks and the group of Vinaya monks. And they were fighting about, I mean, when you leave the toilet, if you have to flush it or not to flush it. In India, they didn't have a lot of water, so I mean, so the Dhamma group, was saying, no, we shouldn't flush it, and the Vinaya group, yes, we have to flush it, and they were fighting about this, And then the Lord Buddha came, and said, I mean, you shouldn't fight it, you should listen to me. They didn't listen to him. And so, I mean, he got his bowl, and packed up and went into the deep forest, and disappeared for 3 months, And then the lay people came after him and said, please come back. But before that, they didn't give the monks, who were fighting in the monastery, no food. So there was hardly any food. So even at that time, people were fighting about the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha. I mean, so there's no surprise that nowadays the people say, oh, this is what the Lord Buddha means, or that is what the Lord Buddha means. Here we talk only about how to practice, how to practice the path, how to enter samadhi, and once we enter samadhi, how to do. We're not talking about the concepts, or this or that. We're talking about how to develop wisdom. And the first way, the first object that we need to investigate is this body. We need to investigate this body. We need to investigate our life. We are born, we are thrown into this life. I mean, at that time we don't know. I mean, for 15 or for 18 years we train this body. We train to walk, we train to talk. In the beginning, I mean, we even train to, the muscles, I mean, we start to move our hands, then we try to grab with our hand and put everything in our mouth and see how it tastes, and so on and so on. And then we learn to walk, then we learn to talk, and then we learn to read and write and to think, And how long does it take, to train this body? Before we can really use it, Normally with the age of 18, I mean, being in full strength of this body, So 18 years it takes, to train this body, This is the first reflection about, body investigation. We train this body for 18 years. Then we can use it for 30 years, And then after the age of 45, between 45 and 50, the body starts to decay. Yeah? And it will decay, for a long time, it doesn't decay from one moment to the other. People who are 79, I know that. But this doesn't work, and that doesn't work. This cracks and that cracks, yeah. So the sum of our life, just the short sum is, we train this body for 18 years, we can use it for 30 years, and then we wait for death for 40 years, yeah? And that's what we hanker after. Yeah? The moment starts to decay, most of the people, think about the next life. Yeah? But they don't think about the first 18 years of their life. They think about the age between 20 and 40. Yeah? That's what we think, that's what we imagine. That is the height of the human life. Yeah? We don't think about getting old, we don't want to get old. And we don't want, we can't wait, to get old enough, when we were young, yeah? You remember that? 12 years, when we were 12 years, why I'm not 18 yet, huh? Yeah? So, this is the human life, yeah? But in the Buddha sense, in the Buddha's teaching, it makes this human life is really precious, yeah? The first thing that he said, it is very difficult to obtain a human life. Our next life will not be human. Yeah? In 99.9% of the cases, it will not be human. Yeah? We are either, if we are very good people and did a lot of bun, a lot of merit, we go up to the heaven. If we did a lot of bad things, we go down to hell. Yeah? And that is for most people, the choices. Yeah? And the biggest choice for all the people what did the Lord Buddha said? Yeah, when the Venerable Ananda asked him, how many people are going to heaven, how many people are going to hell? Then he said, do you see that bull over there? How many horns does he have? These are the people who go to heaven or Nibbana. Yeah? And how many hairs does he have on his fur? Millions. These are the people who go to hell. Yeah? There's another thing that he said, we should remember this, people think, when they accept rebirth, they always think about being reborn as a human being, and a human being again, and a human being again. No, that's not the case. Lord Buddha said, to reach a human life, it is very difficult. Huh? And then even when you reach the human life, to reach to get in contact with the true sasana, with the true religion, or with the Buddhist religion, or whatever it's called, it is very difficult. And then what is the third thing that is most difficult? When you're a human being, when you get in contact with the true teaching, and when you meet an arahant, or when you meet the Buddha, these three things are very difficult to reach. So we should, when we are a human being and when we reach the true sasana, or when we get in contact with the true sasana, we shouldn't let go of it. Yeah? Because in the next life you don't know what is happening. Yeah? And the true sasana, where is it? Yeah? Just as a reminder, what did the Lord Buddha said? Wherever there is Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant, that's where the true sasana still is alive. Yeah? It's not in books, in books it's everywhere in the world. Yeah? But where is it alive? Yeah? Here in Thailand. Yeah? Over the last 100 years there were more than 100 Arahants. Yeah? And I don't know how many are left, but there are still a few left, at that time. Yeah? But only in Thailand, in other countries there might be one, yeah? Mostly in Theravada Buddhist countries, like Sri Lanka there might be one or two, yeah? Or in Cambodia there might be one or two, yeah? Or in Laos, or in Myanmar, yeah? In the remote areas of Myanmar, or the remote areas of Laos, or in remote areas, yeah, of Cambodia, yeah? The Thai monks used to travel to these places, so and that's what they say, yeah? So that's for the moment, yeah? We cannot talk about the future. The the Buddhist religion will never stay in one place, it will move, yeah. I mean, it moved from India, it moved to Indochina, yeah. It moved here to Thailand and especially Cambodia, yeah. I mean, when you look at Angkor Wat, I mean, it was a very big Buddhist place, yeah. But then it decayed there, but it still lived in Thailand, yeah, and still lived in Laos and in Myanmar, yeah. So, but where it goes next, we don't know, yeah. Maybe it goes to the West, or maybe some people say it goes to Russia, other people say it goes to the West, but we don't know. At the moment it is here. So people who want to get the right teaching, yeah, they should come here to Thailand. That's where they still find it. Yeah, not as easy as 50 or 60 years ago. Yeah, but I mean, you still can find it in a few places. What else did the Lord Buddha say, about, there are the 4 kinds of people. Have you heard it? 4 kinds of people. There are the Parama, that's 70% of the population who have no interest in any kind of religion. And they have no other way than to go to hell. So 70%. It's like 100 people, 70 go 100% to. And then he say, there are 29%, of the people who are nayas, that's us. Yeah? Nayas, they swing forth and back. Oh, okay, today I practice, I really practice. Or today, I keep the 5 precepts. Yeah? And the next day, after a few days, they are tired. Let me do this, let me do that. And then they break it. Yeah? And then they go back again. So these are the people who are constantly swing forth and back. Yeah? And there's only 1% or maybe even 0.1% of the people who meet the Dhamma and then they stick to it. They hold it, they hold it like, have you seen the tukes, the geckos? Yeah? I mean, once they have something in their mouth, they don't let it go. Yeah? I mean, you really have to stem up their mouth, to get the food out of it. Yeah? They won't do it, they don't know pain, when the food is in the mouth, they don't let go. Yeah? And that is the 1% or 0.1%, yeah, that knows, this is the Dhamma and hold on to it, yeah. And it's up to you, in which class you are, yeah. I mean, there are actually 2 classes there. I can't remember the Pali names. The ones who only need to know, where's the gate, and then they rush through, and within no time, they become an arahant, yeah. And the others are, who are steadily going on the path, yeah. And they don't let go of the path, yeah? But they are not as what is it? I forgot. I haven't listened to Lung Dhamma Bo's talk for lately. Kipapinya, yeah. Ukatitanyu, yeah, and Kipapinya. But now I don't remember which one is which. The fastest is Kippa, yeah. I mean, they wait at the gate, they wait at the gate, and the moment a Buddha comes or an Arahant comes and opens the gate, they run through it, yeah. And the other ones, are looking for the gate, and running towards the gate. Yeah? Okay, so Sila, yeah, so we practice the 8 precepts here, yeah, and then we train Samadhi, yeah. And once we train Samadhi, once our mind is quiet enough, then we can go into investigation of the body. Just like I said, first investigate our life. And then investigate, the body, from the outside. The hair of the head, the hair of the body, the nails, and the teeth, and the skin, yeah. All these things, yeah, I mean, we love so much, yeah. I mean, we take care of this body, all our life. Most of the people, have nothing else to do than take care of their body, yeah. In the morning, they wash themselves, they put some makeup on it, I mean, they go to the hairdresser, yeah. Interesting word, dressing the hair, putting some nice clothes on, for what? I mean, it's all our life is all about the body, yeah. There's hardly anything, I mean, if you have time, and we have to work for this body, yeah. If you have time afterwards, we just want to relax, yeah. We want to go to a pub or to a restaurant to meet some friends, or to watch a movie and so on. We just want to relax. So it's But all these things are all about the body, all about the senses of the body. Yeah, we want these senses. Yeah, and nothing is, and there's hardly anything, that is about the values. Yeah, about the spiritual values. So reflection about this makes it very important for us to see. Yeah. To see the body, and then also to notice something about the body. Whatever gets into contact with the body, it's nice, it's nice, it smells good, it tastes good, it feels good, yeah. Whatever comes out of the body, we don't like to see, yeah. We don't like to touch it, yeah. I mean, think about the times you went into the shower, yeah. I mean, your hair was dirty or greasy, and then you took some shampoo and then you washed it, yeah. I mean, then it felt nice again, yeah. But you didn't want to grab the hair that has fallen off, fallen off your head, together with the soap, I mean, you were disgusted when you looked at it, huh? The same thing with the fingernails. I mean, women love fingernails, they like to paint it, and like to, all these things. But the moment they cut it off, they don't put it next to their food table, huh? They find it disgusting. We find it disgusting, yeah? The food that we take, that we take in, yeah? I mean, we find it nice, it's tasty. But even if it has not gone down into the stomach, I mean, if we spit it out in our hand, we don't want to put it back. Whatever gets into touch with the body, we really find it disgusting. Yeah? I'm not even talking about the food when it is processed and it comes out as shit. Yeah? We don't even like to look at it, we don't like to touch it. But it comes out of this beautiful body. Huh? That is our illusion about the body, because I mean, we see this dissonance. I mean, there are certain things that we like about this body, yeah. Huh? And there are other things that we dislike. Yeah? So that's where greed and hate are stored within this. Yeah? I mean, they are rooted within this body. Yeah? Likes and dislikes. Yeah? So the moment we destroy the illusion, yeah, about this body, yeah, I mean, likes and dislikes are gone. And that leads from Sotapanna. The first thing the Sotapanna sees, that the body is not me. That is the most difficult, yeah? Because whatever we see, it is all about the body, yeah? So to distance ourselves, and say, this is the body and it is the chitta, yeah? The chitta is not part of the body. Even when you look at the 5 khandhas that the Lord Buddha described, where we are attached to the 5 khandhas, he said the body and the feeling, and the feeling is bodily feeling and mind feeling, and then what is it? Thoughts, memories, and consciousness. He didn't talk about the chitta. So the chitta is not part of the khandhas. Yeah? So the chitta is attached to these 5 khandhas. Yeah? So these 5 khandhas are the play tool of the chitta, or the kilesas, or avijja, who rules the chitta, yeah? Who has occupied the chitta. Yeah? And our work is to drive out this occupier, yeah? This ruler, this tyrant, yeah? Because he constantly commands us around. Huh? In the morning he says, get up, no, I don't want to get up. Go to work, get some more money, huh? Go to this place, go to that place. Now, in the future, I want to do this, yeah? And what do we say? Yes, my Lord, yes, you have guided me for 40 years, or 50 years, or 30 years. You must be right. Yeah? If I do this, I will be happy. Yeah? That's what you constantly promise us, yeah? Doesn't it? Huh? Promise us, yeah? If you do this, you get happy, yeah? If you find a nice wife, you get happy, yeah? And then you find this nice wife, or find this nice husband or friend, whatever it is, and then after 2 weeks you realize you're not happy. Because it promised us all these things, yeah? But we never check on him. Right? We never check on this tyrant. Yeah? We never ask, okay, so you promised, okay, I do this, yeah? So you promised me to be happy, why am I not happy now? We do that, we do that when we go to a store, when we go to a store and buy something. Yeah? If this is not satisfying to us, I mean, we never buy this again. Huh? But with the chitta, yes. I mean, for one life, for 10 lives, for billions of lives, I mean, we do the same thing. We will always fall for the same tricks, yeah? And now it's time, not to fall for these tricks and say, okay, yeah? That's you and that's me, yeah? That's a chitta and that is the tyrant, yeah? And I'm not going to listen to you anymore. But in order for that, I mean, we have to stop thoughts for a while, to see, yeah, that there is no tyrant there. The moment we enter samadhi, the tyrant is gone, the kilesas are gone. That's why we feel so free. Yeah? Even in Upachara Samadhi, when we come out, we feel so free. Yeah? But then, instantly, after a few seconds, the kilesas come. Now let's do us this, let's do us this, and let's take a break, And we all notice that when we do a lot of practice, yeah. So we see this, yeah. I mean, this is not us. Huh? It's not me, it's not myself, it doesn't belong to me. And the same thing with the body. Yeah? It's not me. Yeah? I'm using the principle of anatta. It's not me, it's not mine, it doesn't belong to me. Whatever I can see, whatever I can feel, whatever I can hear, whatever I can experience cannot be me, because the one who experiences is who? That's where we have to go. To the one who experiences. And that is within the chitta. It's a knowing nature of the chitta. And that knowing nature of the chitta never disappears. It never has appeared, it never disappeared. Yeah? This knowing nature of the chitta, and that's what we want to get into, or what we want to experience, when we go into Upachara Samadhi or later on into Appana Samadhi. Because then we know the reality. Yeah? And everything else, everything else is not real. Yeah? I mean, it seems to be real, yeah. But it is not that reality. Yeah? Because this reality is duality. Yeah? And this duality always makes us separate from things. Yeah? And if you remember in our lives, all this isolation that we felt, all this, the separation that we felt, that we wanted to overcome, yeah? And most of the time we overcome it with friends or belonging to this social group or that social group, or yeah. But the separation never went away. Yeah? It always was there. Even if we had the dearest friend, even if we had the dearest girl or boyfriend, yeah, it never went away. The separation always was there, yeah, and it was always nagging, yeah. But when we go into Upachara Samadhi, this nagging is gone, because there is no more separation. We feel united with all beings, yeah, no matter if they are humans, no matter if they are devas, no matter if they are animals, yeah. We feel, or ghosts, we feel united, yeah? And that is something that we need to experience, yeah? We need to experience this, at least this Upachara Samadhi, to know, to know the value of the path. Yeah? Otherwise, if we get frustrated over time, if we don't experience something that is beyond our experience in the world, yeah, then the kilesas have a easy hand, so it's not worthwhile. I can experience this in the world, yeah. Huh? I can just buy this, or buy that, or get this or get that, and then I also will be happy for a moment, yeah. But this happiness always, disappears, yeah. If you remember, we were dying, to meet this person or get this, or get our degree or whatever, yeah. And then we were happy for how long? Yeah, it didn't last very long, yeah. Because it disappears, because it's anicca, because it's impermanent, all these things. Yeah? So, but when we go into Upachara Samadhi, then we don't feel the separation anymore. That's why we are not afraid, because how can we be afraid? Yeah? We are not lonely. Yeah? We are unified. Yeah? And that is a very valuable experience, and it shows us. Yeah? Even the Lord Buddha talks about it. He talked about the jhanas, but the samadhi and jhanas are very similar. Yeah? So samadhi is important. It's important for us to see that there is something beyond the world that we have lived in for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Yeah. Okay, now you have to bring up, your self-discipline. You have to bring up the interest in the object that you observe. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions? But Decker is your last name, or is it your first name?
My middle name,
Your middle name. And what is your first name?
Paul.
Paul Decker. No questions? Do you have any questions?
No,
Not yet. No. Then Alex? What?
Maybe it was long enough.
Was it long? Yeah, it was nearly an hour. Okay, so then for today, yeah, go back to, huh? And squeeze out the most, huh? You're the one who is closest to the closest to death, yeah. So
Not sure. I'm not sure.
well, from his age, yeah. I mean, of course, we are not sure. I mean, we can die tomorrow, yeah. Every one of us, yeah. We don't know, but it is not so likely, yeah. Good. Then leave it at that. I thought you had some questions, Alex. Too much? Then from Wednesday. Yeah.เข้าใจบ้างไหมผมพูดภาษาอังกฤษหน่อยนะมีคำแต่นิดหน่อยไหม
ไม่เลย